Hello, this is Tony Clarkson at the Sanctuary of Healing, and I'm here with my friend and colleague Michael Reccia, who is responsible for the JOSEPH Communications. Michael's part was to act as a trance medium and to bring through those communications from a highly evolved spirit guide called Joseph. Today is a very interesting day in that we really don't know what's going to happen. And we feel quite excited that this is the start of something, a transmission coming through live that could be perhaps on a regular basis, perhaps even a monthly basis, depending on how it affects Michael. Michael's going to do this as a psychic medium, not as a trance medium. As a trance medium, Michael would leave his body and Joseph would take over his body. Today, a guide will come in and will talk to Michael, and Michael will translate that for us direct to the camera. And so it is live, if you like, on this performance. I'm excited, but I would imagine you're nervous, Michael.
Always nervous. Always nervous.
You just don't know what's going to happen.
No. There are three people from the soul group who are with me, and I will attempt to tune into each one of those in turn. The leader of that group of three is my principal guiding influence called the Persian Gentleman. The Persian Gentleman appears in different colours according to what he wants to express and what he wants to get across to us. And today he is in a yellow gold robe, very ornate. He likes very ornate robes, beautiful clothes that he wears. And he is the first to speak because he's the organizer of the meeting, as it were, the connection today. And he is holding a question mark. He has a big question mark, holding it in front of him. And he's placing it in front of him. And he says that it's the nature of the spirit beings that we are to examine possibilities. And we can only examine possibilities if we question, if we think, what's next? If we look at circumstances and thoroughly investigate them from a spiritual point of view. And he says that it saddens him at this time that so few people are using that question mark, which is their spiritual right. He says that daily spirits on earth should question every aspect of their lives. He says at the moment there is a trap that people are falling into, in that they are shutting their mind like a trap, like a prison block. They're shutting themselves in via the mind and are not asking the questions that they should be asking from their heart. Now, the reason, he says, that people on earth are not doing this is because it's disturbing. It is disturbing at the moment to ask questions. But in asking questions, you become truer to yourself. Because in asking questions, you identify with your greater self, and you're able to reason for yourself and to reach conclusions for yourself and to say at the end of the day, this is what I am today and this is what I am not today. So he is directing me to the heart, as he often does, because the heart is the seat of spiritual knowledge. And he is opening the heart. He's opening the heart like a flower. And he says some part of each day should be spent asking questions from the heart. And he says this is done in private. The questions are unique to you. The answers are unique to you. But you will never be satisfied in living here. You will never be truly happy until you identify once again with your true mission. And your true mission as a spirit here is to examine potential. If you fail to examine potential, you stagnate as a spirit and you do not evolve whilst you are here. And you are here to evolve. You are here to become more each day than you were yesterday. And you do not become more by living in stasis. Within you, there is all right, he says, describe it as a conscience. He says that word has been all but eliminated in recent years. There is a conscience. There is a conscience in that you know within yourself what is right for you, what is not right for you, what is right in the way that you approach others, what is not right in the way that you approach others, what is right in the way that you observe and live in the world, what is not right in the way that you observe and live in the world. And all these things need to be accessed and need to be accessed regularly. Regularly. Many people on earth wish to evolve spiritually. They look at people like Michael and say, well, I would like to be a medium. I wish I could see the Persian Gentleman. I wish I could see the area that he's living in. I wish I could bring through communication. Seek first union with yourself. Then additional spiritual vibrations will be, you'll be given access to them. Seek first to identify yourself. What do you believe? What do you invest power in? What do you question? If you don't question, then your passage through life is halted. It has no purpose other than to sustain you as a physical being and a mental being. As a spirit being, you're supposed to progress, to learn, to advance, to influence through your beliefs and the way that you approach life here, the rest of humanity. And you can only do that if you question. So I'm bringing you today this question mark. And I'm saying that if you wish to raise your spiritual vibration, and in doing so you will raise the spiritual vibration, only perhaps by the smallest degree, but you will raise the spiritual vibration of everyone else. If you wish to do this, then don't accept everything. Don't accept your life as it is. Go within your heart, and there are instructions as to how to do this on the channels that Tony and Michael have put together. There is further information as to how to access the heart center coming up on those channels. Learn how to go to your heart center. And from your heart center, having shifted your point of consciousness from here to here, from your heart center, question. Ask. Not just about this world, but about our world, about our existence. What is it about? What is my existence like? Where do I live? How do I operate? What is that scenario that follows your physical death, as you call it? A misnomer, but physical death. Question. Question life after death. Don't just accept that there is something, and that's fine, or there is nothing, and that's also fine. Question. Discover. Take yourself on a journey of discovery. And the information that you seek by questioning will be given to you, because you give yourself access to it. You align yourself with higher vibrations. And those higher vibrations bring you answers and further questions. But you will enjoy the process. And you will enjoy expanding your consciousness and your reason for being here and the way that you approach everything here. And you will be fulfilling your original purpose as a spirit, in that the wonders of this world, the joys of this world, the excitement and adventure of this world, you will partake in. You will forget and bypass and put to one side anything that does not allow you to have that adventure and that joy and that excitement. And every day there will be new questions. Every day there will be new answers. And every day you will elevate yourself so that you look at your existence as no longer an existence, but a progression of vibrations from the Godhead that is continually expanding, continually seeking, continually asking questions, continually finding answers. And you will also approach those around you, your family, your friends, everyone across the globe in the correct way, in a loving way, in a harmonious way, in an understanding way, in a way that enhances their lives simply because you are alive here, because your vibration will emanate outwards from you and affect and uplift everyone. So we begin today's meeting, connection with a question. And I now hand over to the second of our connections today. And the Persian gentleman has stepped back, and there is a lady in blue who is stepping forwards. And she is dark-skinned. She has black hair. I haven't seen her before, but I know she's a member of the soul group. She's in a very luminous blue robe, and she has with her, she has with her an eagle, which seems to come through her as though the two are one, but there are two separate spirits there. There's an eagle and there is the lady. And around the lady, there are other forms of life that I can see coming into being and then disappearing. There is a lion that comes through her at knee height. There are other animals. There is a huge black bear that momentarily comes into being and then fades away. And she says that her purpose in speaking today is to urge a reconnection with nature and an understanding, to urge an understanding, promote an understanding that the spirits that I have seen with her, and therefore every spirit in nature, from she's showing me leaves, to some exotic insects that I think exist in warmer climates than this one, to birds, fishes, and then she's showing me microscopic creatures like amoebas. She's saying that every expression of life is you. Every expression of life is you, is part of you. Every expression of life is worthy of its existence and has a purpose in the evolution and maintenance of the planet. She says the reason that she allowed me to see various forms of life coming through her was to show that there is not just a close connection, there is a blending and an expression globally that exists because of us having an integration with every form of life. If you eliminate one of those forms of life, if you take away the black bear or the eagle or the lion from the mix, from that integration, then the expression of evolution and the purpose of the earth is not fulfilled because of that missing piece. She also wants to she wants us to understand that the animals that she is integrated with for the purposes of this connection, discussion this morning, are intelligent. She looks to the eagle. I see the eagle coming through her again, and it comes through her head, and its wings are outspread. And she says, I receive wisdom from the eagle. I receive strength from the lion. I receive direction from the black bear. And she says, and she is becoming emotional as she says this, because she says, this is not appreciated on earth. It is not appreciated that the various forms of the divine, other than the human form, are purposeful or wise. She says, for example, the eagle draws on the wisdom of countless generations of eagles. It is passed on to the next generation, to the fledgling eagle. It is the characteristics of the parents are not only passed on, but the universal, the planetary wisdom of every eagle that has ever manifested is passed on to the eagle chick as a natural thing. She says, consider how wonderful that is. The experience of every lion is passed on to every lion cub. The adventure that every bear has had, black bear has had, is passed on to the bear cub. Because the barriers that exist in the human mind do not exist in the expressions of life other than the human that are brought forth by the devas. So she says, she's talking about the need for there to be a reverence and appreciation of this. That the animal forms, the deva forms, have far more wisdom often than the human form does. And that there should be thankfulness in each day for every creature that you see and interact with that is not the human form. Thankfulness, yes, for every other human form, but also thankfulness for the birds that you see in the sky as you walk, for the insects that you see scuttling across the path, for the animals in the fields, for every expression of life that you come across that is not you and not human. Thankfulness and deep respect. There was a time, she says, in my culture, in her culture, when we would seek the wisdom of animal forms. And we would incorporate into our day that wisdom in order that we lived harmoniously and without harming animal forms. And we would ask to be guided by that oversoul of certain animals. By the oversoul, for example, of the eagle. We would ask for guidance in a certain way, knowing that we could tune into that energy through the actual manifestation of the eagle that was around us, but also we could tune into that ancestral energy and be guided by that ancestral energy. Do you see how far you have removed yourselves from the way in which you should be living? What I ask today is that you take time, perhaps only a few seconds, to study and appreciate the animal forms around you, all animal forms around you, and to appreciate the expressions of nature around you. And in doing so, by doing so, you reconnect with that global guidance that is there for you, but you've forgotten how to use. I would also suggest to you that the animal forms are not something to sacrifice simply because you want fulfillment in food. They are intelligent, they are sacred, they are part of you. And now is an excellent time to appreciate that and learn once again, not only to live in harmony with them, not only to have respect for them, but to allow them to reconnect with you vibrationally so that you have additional guidance in your life. Love the eagle, love the bear, love the lion, love the trees, love the insects, love the fishes, love the birds, love your connection with them, love their ability to give you direction, love their unique expression of divinity, and you will move forwards. Thank you. The third person in this connection is, a rather jolly gentleman. I don't mean jolly in that he's rotund. He's jolly in that he enjoys life and he smiles a lot. And I recognize him as my partner Jane's guide, who was Asian, I believe Chinese. And he's in a green robe that has on top of it yellow, not symbols, they look like shoots or leaves. And he's coming forwards and he has in his hand, I'm trying to see what it is actually, so bear with me. What do you have there? Right, I see. It is a seed. It's a tree, the seed of a tree. But coming out from this tiny seed, there is a shoot, a sapling, I think it's called, about this big, with little leaves beginning to uncurl. And he says that there are many presents given every day on earth. There are lots of gifts given. He says he sees cards being given and bottles of wine being given and clothes being given and bigger things being given, like cars and holidays. People all over the world are giving things. But the things that they give bring only transient pleasure. He says that it is vital at this time that what is given, that a present should be given to every person that you meet every day. But what should be given is the seed. The seed of what? The seed of spiritual knowledge. And he says, well, you'll probably say, how do I give the seed of spiritual knowledge? I don't know what to say to people. You don't have to say anything to people. Your vibration goes out to them whenever you connect with them. What you have to do, as my brother, and he's talking about the Persian Gentleman, has said, is to raise your vibration, is to elevate yourself so that the seed begins to grow in you. You recognize and appreciate your purpose, your connection to universal consciousness, and you begin to understand your life. You question, as he said, you find answers, you find more questions, and you build up a picture from the heart, not from the head, of what your existence here is about. And you then speak with authority to others without saying a word. Because your vibration from your heart connects to them whenever you are in a supermarket, in a cinema, in a bus queue, wherever you happen to be, your vibration mingles with theirs to a certain extent. And your vibration helps to form that seed within them so that they begin to question. They begin to become unsettled. If they are unsettled, it's great. It's wonderful. We want people to be unsettled because in being unsettled, you begin to question. You begin to seek. You begin to say, this existence that I thought was so perfect is not perfect. What else is there? Is there anything else? And their seed begins to grow. And so I want to say to you, recognize that whatever your dominant vibrations are, whatever your dominant, not beliefs, but knowledge, because spiritual understanding is knowledge, not belief. Belief needs tending, knowledge does not. Knowledge exists. So whatever your knowledge is, your spiritual knowledge, that then goes out from you as a vibration that touches and enhances the lives of others. and begins to form that seed within their hearts that will unsettle them. He says that I come with smiles, but the smiles have been earned in many lives that did not cause me to smile. In many lives, there was a frown on my face, certainly from the point of view of the human aspect of myself that was on earth. But in going through situations that caused me to frown, I learnt how to smile spiritually. And I discovered that when I relinquished the physical body back to the earth, once I came back to the spiritual spheres, my life had been a joy. And I had learned so much. And I had extended and expanded my spiritual seed so that I could exist in elevated vibrations that brought me much happiness. So, your life daily in seeking to expand yourself may not bring you the happiness and joy that I am exhibiting today in this life. But as a result of that struggle, it will in the next. So there is a reason to be joyful every day in that knowledge, and knowing that you are spreading spiritual seeking. You are spreading you're spreading a thirst and a hunger for spiritual understanding. And you are giving everyone you meet what they really need as a gift. Not something material, but something that somehow unsettles them, somehow eases them or jogs them or jolts them out of that familiar life so that they begin to grow their own seed, to open their own heart, and to take that journey, to step on that road that leads to spiritual rediscovery. I say rediscovery because they already know what that seed will bring them. They have just locked it away within themselves and accepted that the material approach to life is all they ever need. There's a good word in there, ever. Because life goes on forever. And this aspect of life is just a small portion of a far greater and more wondrous journey. But this aspect can be infused with the vibrations of that greater journey to make this journey wondrous too. Okay. Handed back to the Persian gentleman who says that we will talk again. There will be different brothers and sisters from the soul group who will speak each time. He says that he will conduct the connection to ensure that it is a safe and a highly vibrational connection. And he leaves us with positivity, with clear vision, with a vibration to touch every person who watches this video, to touch and uphold and uplift them through what may seem like difficult times, but are only difficult because the aspects of life that they have been talking about are not being observed. Observe them and everything changes.
Michael, just so much thank you from all of us to the spirit guides who've come through here today. And thank you so much for, I know, the weight that it puts on your shoulders, on your physical body. And I know what's going to happen to you afterwards. So thank you so much for your dedication and allowing this to come through, these pearls of wisdom to come through today.
Well, it's a great joy to be able to share them. And as long as we can do, we will.
That was amazing. Each one of those was just absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Michael and PG, the lady, and the Asian gentleman, thank you all so much for today. And with that, there's nothing more to say. Thank you for watching. And this is going to be published on YouTube. If you like it, please subscribe. Please press the red button. And also there are other videos with other pearls of wisdom. There's a course now on how to act out spirituality on a day-to-day basis that Michael has spent a lot of time putting together. All that will be made available at the end of this video, where you'll be able to see where you can go to see that. So thank you very much for tuning in. God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless.